This is not an M41 Bulldog nor a T49, even though it looks very reminiscent of those vehicles as it carries the exact same hull armor and as well turret. It is actually a German variant, otherwise known as the Black Dog, or as I call it, the LEKPZ M4190. Now this is actually a ridiculously strong tank. In fact, I would rank this as one of the best tier 8s in the game. It's got such a good gun because of the high explosive plastic it carries. Yeah, it doesn't carry HESH. The British, of course, we know use HESH, while the Germans use high explosive plastic. And this thing with over 112 millimeters of HE pen and 320 average damage has the ability to rip and shred its enemy opponents apart. You're able to pen the sides of most heavy tanks at tier 8, most mediums in the front and side and rear, of course, and that goes the same for light tanks and tank destroyers. This thing has no boundaries on the HE, and that makes it ridiculously strong because you're able to rip them apart. You're dealing the same average damage as, most heavy tanks with 320 damage there. So very good there. As well, it's got decent gun depression sitting at 8 degrees. It's got solid base damage per minute at around 2400. Its accuracy, while it's not great at .317, also isn't too bad. Overall, it's a good gun, 275 millimeters of heat penetration, and because it is based off of the T49, this vehicle is able to go upwards of 72 kilometers per hour, which is extremely fast. So, overall, this is one of the best tier 8s, I honestly think, in the game. If you know how to play this correctly, you can very easily rack out a huge chunk of damage and as well come out with some easy wins. However, that wasn't the case for me today. While I was getting out pretty big chunks of damage, averaging over 2,500 in the vehicle today, sadly, the wins were not coming. I was sitting at 36% for one moment, but did manage to bring it up to probably about 40 or 50% now with over a 4,000 WN8 on Blitz stars, which is very good. But yeah, I don't know, just the wins, the teams lately have been really bad, and I'm glad that I got these two good games out. They're not even great, they're just good enough, I figured, for the video, because I'm not going to continue suffering in Blitz today. So, there is the T92E1, and you can easily see that the HE is able to cut right through his turret armor, but as I said, the accuracy is not to die for on this tank, so it will miss occasionally, and that is a perfect example. And you'll see another example of that on the second shell I fire in this game. We're going to aim in on this T92E1 who, kind of like a doofus, drives right out in the open. Usually you'd think players wouldn't do this, but yeah, this guy sits out in the open, and as you can see, goes right into his track instead of the hull where I wanted it to go. Now, if both of those shells had gone where they were supposed to, we would be sitting at over 640 damage. That's pretty dang quick, but there you have it, our first HE connecting, dealing 317 damage, so pretty dang sweet there. Now, we actually are sitting at more damage than we would have been if we had fired two standard shells, because actually, I don't really know, we'd be sitting at about the same, because we would have penned the T92 for 225, and I guess we would have penned the Vickers, so it would have evened out to be about the same. Now there we have the M48 Patent, and you're going to notice I'm actually going to fire standard ammo, and the reason for that being is because the Patent is full of big tracks on the side. You can see that there. And even though that shot there actually hit the rear, so that would have penned with HE, I really just don't trust this gun enough on the accuracy to really hit where I'd want it to go, which is right on the side of the tracks above it. I just don't trust the gun enough, so I'd rather shoot the AP, get out that bigger number of damage, and not have to worry about the HE not penning. We're already sitting at a decent chunk of damage, 1,584. You can see that, really, the gun very easily racks up damage. We got the side of that Chimera, and look at that, 313, like, oof. Ooh, it feels so good when you're able to rip into an opponent like that. So that brought us up another 300 damage. We got the Lerva off to the side, which I would like to get a nice tap into. You're going to see I did tap a heat shell into the side because I don't really trust the gun enough on those big, thick German super heavies. Conquer over here, and it goes into his upper plate. Big rip there. And here is the side of the Lerva, and just look at how easy it is to penetrate the side of a German super heavy with the HE. 345 there. Like, it is such a fantastic amount of pen. And when you know you can pen the side of a vehicle like a Tiger II and a Lervan, yeah, this vehicle is super duper strong. There's another nice shot onto the Conqueror there. Nice fire as well. And with that, we're sitting at 2990 and 3 damage. So that was the first game in the vehicle I actually played. And it took me about 7 more games to get out an equally good victory. I was trying to get out a victory just to show the strengths. I had about 3,000 losses, but there weren't really anything that showed the strengths. It was more me running around the map trying to worry about my team. So this is a second game on Desert Sands. It wasn't a fantastic game again. I actually played one after this just hoping that I get a better one, but I figured this'll do. So the M4190, it's great on that mobility. Obviously the power to weight's not fantastic. You never really see this thing reach 72, but it gives it a big buffer that if you're going downhill or anything where you're trying to run away, you can eventually reach it if you had to. Now the vehicle is just great on all the aspects because it's got good gun depression, it's got great heat penetration, very solid base damage per minute, it's able to brawl with mediums, it's able to penetrate heavies, and it's able to rip apart lights. So overall, it's the ultimate tank for me because I just love vehicles like this playstyle. And the great thing is it usually comes quite cheap. I'd say this vehicle comes, maybe $20, $15 when it comes out in the store. So if you like vehicles like this is definitely a must-buy because this is one of the best tier 8 lights and best just tier 8s in the game that I honestly find a lot of people underestimate. We got the Pantera here. You can say I wanted to come up behind him, get that HE in his booty, and I even put on my adrenaline here, but yeah, this guy, yeah, that guy's not living all too much longer. So that was a weird part of this game. I really didn't know what to expect there because that Pantera, is that guy missing some brain cells? I can definitely tell you that. So for the first shot, 292, obviously that HE gave me a little bit more damage than my standard would have in that exact scenario. And here we are aiming at the side of the larva. Boom, 299 again. 2 low rolls here, but still racking out that damage. Like, you can see how nice that HE is. Now, sadly, that one did not pen. I don't know why, and I don't think anybody really knows why there, but yeah, it's kind of a big rip. Get a nice 18 to the side of the Centurion, though, finish him off. We're sitting at 769 damage now, and already the enemy team is pretty dang dead. Like, there's really not much left. And, well, oh boy, I'm going to shoot at a WZ-110, so I might as well just skip past this a teeny bit so you don't see me farm that guy. But, yeah, we took about 500 off him, and now we're going for the waffle. Get another 370 off him. Finally, a nice high roll. Another decent chunk of damage there in the waffle. And we're just shitting, yes, wonderful English there, Droodles. Meant to say sitting. Oh my god, I'm losing. Sitting shy. That's why I confused it. Okay, we're back to English. Sitting shy of 2,000 damage, but now we're sitting at 2,800. So, yeah, wonderful English from Droodles here. Either way, we did pretty good this game. My English did not do good, but overall, 2,824 damage. And we're going to try and get one more tap. Yeah, there you have it, 2943. So overall, the only KPZs you can see is a pretty solid tank. I was able to pen the side of a T95 with the HE. That's impressive. So I really enjoy playing this tank. It's got a great gun going for it that gives you the ability to bam, 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 HE in this side of tanks. With that larva, we should have penned that guy with the HE. We would have been sitting at around 3,300 damage if that had have penned. So overall, very strong tank, and because of that, I definitely rate this as one of the best tier 8s in the game, if you know how to play it, and I bet a lot of Super Unicums that own this vehicle can definitely vouch for that, because it really is a fantastic vehicle. Hopefully, all of you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, but other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.